Hello, welcome back to another episode. It's actually a pretty interesting one. I played on my own for a little while and I didn't talk at all. I didn't really goof around, I focused on actually playing and that felt interesting. Usually I'm goofing off, but I did buckle down here. I'm playing Chaos right now, we're playing on only 12,000 gold. That's why it can be rather difficult to do well. You know, if you want a new build that incorporates a lot of new creatures and things like that, 12,000 gold is very little. I used to play on 12,000 gold, but then I was like, hey, 15,000, 17,000, we can get a lot more on the field of battle, which has been pretty fun. I have my aspiring champions, I've got my Chaos Marauder with great weapons, and I wanted to bring that in just because we've got players who are dwarfs and they have armor, which means that I need to pierce that armor. Over here, we're looking at my Chaos Warriors with halberds. I've got my ally, a Beastmen player. We've got Gyro Bombers coming in like crazy. I do have one Feral Manticore. I have Chaos Knights with Lances ×2, and I brought in Chaos Warhounds with Poison. Right now, I'm letting my Lances move to another part of the map. I want them to go away to potentially the middle of the map. All we've been doing is repositioning. That's really what we've been doing for the duration of this battle thus far. He's got Gore Herds moving in. They're all camped up on his hill, which is interesting only because there's like trees here. I don't know how that's going to benefit them too much. I mean, I don't have any missile troops to really bring in. There's very few that I could bring in. They are hurting the Beastmen player. But you get my point. I'm calling him a Beastman, but I'm not going to call him like an entire faction. The Imperial player. All right. Over here we have Longbeards. We're looking at Grudge Throwers and a Cygor throwing giant stones at them, or Hardened Dung, whichever one it is, you decide. We're looking over here at Iron Breakers in the rear, which is interesting too. We're looking at Dwarf Warriors. It looks like they're going to huddle all together. Bugman's Rangers, who have a constant replenishment. Their accuracy goes down as a result of it, I believe. So I wonder if that only applies when I take damage and when they're actually drinking. I'm thinking that might be the case, but they're really nice looking. I mean, look at them. They're really nice looking. Right. Yeah, they're cool looking. I like them. All right. Let's go check it out real quick. I'm charging in. And I will go to slow motion a few times here and there just because I've got to go over parts of the battle. It gets pretty crazy. But actually trying to focus on micromanagement the entire time was pretty fascinating. I mean, that sounds weird, right? But I usually like to play around when I'm playing games like this. But yeah, I tried a little bit harder than usual. It probably won't show as much in my current battle, but I do have another battle where I fight these guys again. Here's my Feral Manticore. I'm trying to go after these Gyro Bombers. There's 3 of them. I'm trying to scare them away. If I can actually get to them, we can do a lot of damage. I have my Lances beginning to move in over here right now, where I'll be able to hit them from behind. We're all about to charge in. It's going to be very cool. It's a very short battle, very prompt, very deadly. I mean, 12,000 is usually pretty short in terms of duration. We're looking at Miners with blasting charges charging in. That's an interesting choice there. I probably would just let them throw things. I don't know. I mean, maybe they would do better fighting me, but I don't even have a lot of armor myself. We're a lightly armored group. We're just moving around quickly. That's what's happening. We've got a Kozrak the One-Eye charging in right now using his buffs. I don't think he should have used Apocalyptic Vision. Not yet. Maybe once they were all in battle. Just so you can get the full duration of that buff. Over here we've got a Brave Shaman, a Wild One, 1 foot. And we have a Gorebold that's kind of waiting back here. I'm charging in too. If you look at it right now, I'm trying to make sure that I'm at every point where I'm able to fight and charge in. I'm trying to make sure that I fight them all. Now, here's a big thing I did. I brought Archaon. I wanted to use my magical damage to get in there. Look at that, 70 magical damage. I wanted to use that to take out ethereal units. All right, when they first came out, these were a big deal. I was like, oh no, ethereal. They don't take a lot of damage from physical damage, but they take a lot from magical damage. Because of that, Lords can really beat them up. They're very good at fighting various things, but having a good, strong melee Lord like Archaon is incredible. He's going to come in, and he's going to really bang him up. That Skyhammer did a lot of damage to it, 26 kills, not really a lot of kills. He probably should have waited. I would have used my Gyro Bombers much later on. Let's go look at the charges real quick, just because, again, very short battle. I've got my Marauders, who I prefer to use whenever fighting dwarves because they can pierce armor and do a lot more damage. We have an Ungrim moving in right now. We've got Kozrak doing his own thing. We've got Gores all over. I've got my Lances that are going to begin to move in. I have no artillery at all. I usually don't bring a Hell Cannon. That one shot just usually isn't devastating enough to really warrant having one unit to protect like that. If I have to protect, I can't move quickly. My Aspiring Champions are now charging in, who I love. I can't wait for more stuff like that. I love stuff like that, having like mini champion groups. And here's my Feral Manticore stationary for a brief moment. We're charging it everywhere at the moment, hitting Dwarf Warriors, and they don't really have a lot of units. I'm fighting them in the woods, so their range won't even do very well over here. They've got Halkenhoff They've got Throny and King Lun moving in at Cygor, still doing a lot of damage. I have my Chaos Lances that are beginning to charge in. I kept them here a little bit too long. I should not have done that. You want to charge in, then you want to move out. Not to mention we're fighting Iron Breakers, but they took a lot of damage. I mean, only 3 died when we last looked at them, but they took a lot of damage. And we're still fighting over here, doing a lot of damage too. I've got Archaon, who's buffing up with a Stand or Die and a Cascading Fire Cloak. He just charged back with King Lun. Look at King Lun. King Lun is taking a lot of damage. That one strike took out such a significant part of his health. That is going to destroy King Lun. And I think I eventually use a Fireball, but it might be a little bit too late. He might fall apart. Anyway, I only brought in a few fire buffs for Archaon. I knew that I would only want to use a few. I just wanted to go after the Ethereal Lords, which I knew would be brought because they have Clan Angrun, and it's kind of hard to not bring them. All right, here comes my Feral Manticore. I'm trying to go after a Gyro Bomber. We're looking at me just kind of destroying their lines right now. I've got Halberds moving in. I have somewhere around here a fresh group that isn't really fighting. Yeah, over here. Yeah, they're not really fighting right now. The Beastman player really had kind of a tough time. I mean, he's fighting a Dwarf player who's charging right in. A tough time for a limited amount of time. Then I have my Chaos Knight Lances move in, and I'm charging in from behind, trying to get a few kills in, trying to damage them. But right now, he's kind of outnumbered. He's kind of having a tough time, but we're flanking them. We're doing well with that. These Iron Breakers only killed 7. They're at 78, but they took a lot of damage too. We're looking at my Chaos Knights with Lances, who got 8 kills, where they did a lot of damage. Looking at my Warhounds, who I moved in from behind. They have poison, and they're going to debuff and entangle these Bugman's Rangers. And over here we have Throny just doing his buffing thing. If we look over here, we're fighting King Lun. Archaon's like, I shall send you back. And he's doing that. Let's go check out that fight, just for a brief moment. We're about to get King Lun. We just need like maybe one more good hit. We do 480 damage. He's got 1 health left, and then he falls apart. Yeah, my Fireball's a little bit too late. I think I did waste my magic, I'm not too sure, but he went away. They used a Gyro Bomber. He hit part of his own troops too. Did some damage to me, but that's really about it. 34 kills total. Not really a lot. That would have been, okay, if you can imagine using a Gyro Bomber over here, that would have gotten so many more kills. That would have killed so many Gores. They're so lightly armored, that would have destroyed them. I'm thinking he could have gotten easily over 100 kills. He could have had them all focused on Kozrok, potentially killed Kozrok. The Brave Shaman is nearly dead as well. See, look, they use a Skyhammer here later on, and bam, over 100 kills. That just would have been so much better. There's a lot happening in this battle, so I have to keep going in slow motion. My Lances are moving back out. They took more damage. I mean, that's all armor piercing, even though they are kind of weak, cheap units that can do a lot of damage though because of that. We've got Gore Herds who are now moving in from behind, which actually worked out pretty well. Though they are fighting Iron Breakers, but they are entangling all of them. My Chaos Knights with Lances are now moving in over here to go get rid of their Grudge Stars. I got my Warhounds still fighting that Bugman's Rangers group who are doing their own thing. I've got a Gyro Bomber back over here. Where's my Manticore? Right, my Manticore is just trying to chase away whatever he's able to. That's a lot of gold for Gyro Bombers, again, which would have worked quite well against a Beastmen player. But they kind of went after me a little bit too much. Admittedly, those going to be kind of hard to micromanage when you're trying to micromanage your entire army. Now I have Archaon going after Falkenhoff. I told you, my job right now is to kill every ethereal unit. I could easily go after their army with Archaon, but my goal is to minimize kills by going after ethereal lords or heroes. And right now, Falkenhoff is having a tough time. If you go look over here, I'm beginning to lose it. I've got aspiring champions who will not break, which is wonderful. I'm very glad they're not breaking. We've got knights that are now moving in for a beautiful charge, like that. Just coming in, rampaging through them. We're looking at my champion still fighting in the woods right now. He's got a Cygor still fighting. I got more Lances just moving in and out. 75 kills right now. That Gyro Bomber's probably done for. I mean, in terms of bombs, but yeah, he's going to keep on shooting. I've got knights over here now. I've got a few fleeing units. I'm still all over the map. It's really a fearsome battle. I will say that 12k battles can be pretty fearsome though, because you've got so little. You've got to make it all last and fight. Here we have a Gore Bull fighting 19 kills only. He's being grouped up on. We have a Gore Herd flanking. We have over here a lot of Gore Herds. I think eventually I bring in my Knights to help out. We're looking at a lot of Dwarfs now fleeing. Martyrs cannot fight a prolonged fight. Ungrim's fighting over here. We have a Runesmith who's very tired. I get rid of Falkenhoff. And now I'm trying to go after Throny Ironbrow. That's my new job. I'm not bringing in units who are fleeing. They're coming back in. Archaon's going hunting again. Minimal kills, right? But he's taken out expensive heroes each time. My Manticore still going after various gyro bombs. I have more units coming in. I'm looking at my knights now getting ready to attack even further. We're looking at them all just repositioning right now. We're looking at the Beastman player who's still going after various lords, fighting Ungrim and doing a lot of damage to him, which is great. We're now attacking these Ironbreakers from behind, doing a lot of damage, helping out a Gore Bull and Gore Herds. We have another charge going down, going after more Ironbreakers from behind. Lances are a lot more effective now. I actually like them quite a bit. They're my favorite Chaos Knight unit to use on horseback by far, just because of how effective they can be. They can easily die, that's true, but they can also do a lot of damage, and I think having shields helps quite a bit. I don't remember if they had shields when it first came out. I know that they added shields to some mounted units, which was great. They really didn't need that whenever they were charging in, and they only had lances too, so that was rather difficult. But over here, we have my champions fighting in the middle. We're looking at Throny, who just will not die yet. I'm still trying to go after them. We have a giant huddle in the middle, still trying to fight. We have two Cygors back here who are fighting. We're looking at various broken units all over the map. We have Bugman's Rangers who are now coming back to the battlefield. They're trying to get over here. I have Knights who are now going to clash over here, destroying the Bugman's Rangers. And you can see that we're just beginning to wage a war that's now, or a battle that's now in our favor. We're looking at a Runesmith over here, now fighting a Gore Bull. The Gore Bull will be able to break him down. The Runesmith has a little bit more in the kill department, which is actually surprising. Okay, we're looking over here at Ungrim Iron Fist, who is very weak now. I had Archaon go after him. So I have Archaon going after hero after hero after hero, taking out 3 heroes, then going after a lord called Ungrim. And now he's devastating all of them. We got Ungrim. Ungrim is dead. And Throny has 95 health. Eventually, he'll go away. My aspiring champions do have magical damage, so that can easily get him down. We're looking at Throny still fighting. Archaon charges in, and Throny is done for. That is it for Throny. We're looking at the remnants of the battle. I'm still getting my knights to charge in. They're coming in, obliterating pretty much everything right now. We're just going to watch a very cinematic battle towards the very end as we watch the dwarf player, or dwarf players, completely capitulate. They're done for. We defeated them. It was a very well-fought battle. I think I remember fighting one of these guys before. Noctide. That name looks familiar. Okay, 8 kills for Archaon, but he was a heavy-duty swinger. My aspiring champions kept all of my cheap units together. My halberds got an okay amount of kills. The heavy work was done by Archaon killing lords. And they broke. I mean, that's really it. They ended up breaking, so they couldn't really do too much. My knights with lances got a lot of kills, over 200 kills, which is great. Because, I mean, if you look at it, they don't actually have a lot of units like the Clan Angron player. If you go look at it right now, I took out Lun, I took out Halkenhoff, then later Throny. I mean, he stayed, but I still obliterated him. Bellegarde just completely broke and routed. I don't know what was going on with that. He got 49 kills, quite a few kills. We're looking at 100 kills, 114 total when he went after the Beastman player. If you look over here, beyond that, he got a few kills by allowing them to shoot and bomb, but that isn't enough to change a battle up for him at all. The Dwarf Warriors didn't really do much except for over here, 64 kills total. But overall, we had a really good group effort entangling and destroying them. Now, here's a tough group. Dwarfs, I had to fight too. And these are some tough guys. We're fighting Longbeards and Miners. The Miners aren't so crazy. The Longbeards are pretty crazy. They could do a lot of damage, but they ended up getting completely torn apart. So Noctide was definitely a lot more effective. Ungrim did 52, or got 52 kills. We're looking at Runesmith, 26 kills, and that's not really a crazy build. I could see this build actually working out. It's just that I think his allies should have just had normal units. Maybe that battle would have gone a little bit differently. I'm not too sure. Maybe. Okay, the Beastman player, his Cygor, he brought in a new one, a second one via spellcasting. I don't know what happened with that. He did lose his Lord. Kazarok is okay. 63 kills is a pretty good amount for him, though. We're looking at nothing for the Brace Shaman. He probably just used him to bring in a Cygor. And then a Gorbel, only 25 kills. Not a lot of kills with his infantry, so just not a lot of kills overall, but enough to really just hold and to be able to make their units rout. And that's really about it. So that will end the battle. Don't forget to leave a like down below. Don't forget to check out my Patreon down below. If you enjoy my content and you hate ads, well, check it out. That's a way to go. Sub to my channel if you haven't done it already. And I try to keep this type of stuff towards the very end of a video. I don't like to mention it during the video, but I think at the very end it's okay. And I know that could be a pain to hear, but yeah, I'm pretty informal, but I feel like I need to do it. I haven't done it for years, and I've been on YouTube for a long time. But anyway, like, sub, check out things below in a link description, and I will be making more content. I'm actually having a lot of fun making my new thumbnails real quick. I find it so much more entertaining. I'm like, this battle went like this, or it had this. What could I do for a thematic thumbnail? And they've been making me laugh, and people are like, you are becoming full of meme. I'm like, yes, I have become meme incarnate. Anyway, until then.